Try something a little different tonight, man, since basketball on. I'm excited to see my man Juwan come on here. Since he talking about he the Michael Jordan expert. Yo, what's up? I was waiting for some people to get in here. I was just checking. I did a video on that El Chapo son moving all his whole family to witness protection. This Denver game closer than I expected too. Hey. Juwan always talking about go live when the game on. He probably engulfed in the game. Do you know who Shorty Pop was? His name ain't really Shorty Pop, but Pop, yeah. That Shorty Pop shit is some internet Alpo interview. His name is not Shorty Pop. His name is Lil Pop. Yeah, they done turned his name into Shorty Pop. Sheldon Watkins, that's his name if I ain't mistaken. Little Pop. Shorty wanted to be played with. V, what's up? Where you been, V? I'm watching this game. OKC picking it up in the third. Hey V, did we talk about that gully situation? Damn, that was sweet. Was you on the live the other day when we was talking about that? Oh, elbow. What's up with you though, V? Shout out to Baltimore. Hey bro, please read my message. How are you? Man, bro, I ain't really on that with you on. This joke will come down to the wire. I just put this video up about El Chapo's son, V. You gotta check that John out. They just moved like 17 members of their family into witness protection, bro. Like 17 members of their whole family. That's crazy. I wonder if they can get El Chapo some relief. Then they charge the boys in Chicago. Commanders, man. What's up, Snow? How you? You still on that side of town? Cool. This me from the ground. I know. I said, you still over there? Love for Baltimore. Shout out to Baltimore. He said weirdos. Yeah, we just gonna ignore them. Somebody gonna click them. Fly cooler. Oh, New York still around, man. That's some R Street Northeast for life. Shout out to R Street. What's your take on Alpo? For real? In 2025? I can't entertain that one. I ain't got no take on Alpo in 2025. Man. I take the same as it was when he got crushed. That's what he get. No bull. You think blacks will ride for Tory Lanez? He was on a special needs yard. I mean, I don't think it's that type of party. You see, I ain't really been talking about the Tory Lanez thing too much. Imagine black people uniting that we can move mountains. Well, uh-oh. They stuck at 78. You say it's a conspiracy shit? Ooh, where your faith? Denver. Back on top by 2. Hold on 1 second. Westbrook in the game. To the rack. Where you at? What's up, V? You still on there? Gotta feed the animals. My BM got the cats. The only thing about them is they use the litter box. Yo, did you and Gully squash the beef between y'all? Y'all are both good brothers in my opinion. I don't have no beef. Men disagree. Yeah, but when you try to slander somebody's character without proof, that's beyond disagreeing. That's an attack. That's an internet attack at the least. Man, I forgot that face. V, what's up? Ain't nothing. Oh, man, man. He was talking a bunch of shit. I did a video about him getting chumped though.
What's this?
I mean, I was rooting for the Lakers. Now I'm just watching it. I like Anthony Edwards. He said, Eon, I think you are a brilliant journalist and your work will rise above it. Keep working. Appreciate it, bro. Facts. What you say? Oh. Shout out to my man V. What you talking about? Smoked Out TV? I don't think so. Sounds like someone is jumping rope in the background. Whoa. Big three. Big three. Big three. They work. Man, they playing D. That should have been a foul. They working. Ah, they stunned. You gotta watch this fourth quarter. This don't getting a little too intense. What do 5280 mean? That's how high they above sea level or something? It's that mile high? That's what 5280 mean? Ooh. It's getting a little tense. Yeah, I've been trying to catch Tommy Lee, man. My man Larry Moe called me with him on the phone the other day. I was in training. I can't get it up 10. And he getting up slow. Shout out to Tommy Lee, though. Maybe you can write a horror anthology series centered on the 1980s DC. A horror joint? I ain't really into horror flicks. Got it. You feel me? Yeah, 1 mile is 5280 feet above sea level. Oh, thank you, man. I can guess a little bit too. I can guess a little bit. What's up with you? What are your thoughts on this Diddy case? I don't know. This Diddy case is all over the place. I wasn't even trying to rhyme. I think that the testimony of Cassie showed that she was a willing participant in a lot of things. What you think about that?
The Tempur-Pedic Adapt mattress was designed to help make aches and pains a thing of the past, because only Tempur material eases your pressure points in a way no other mattress can.
I mean, I don't even understand the purpose of her testimony other than demonizing the defendant. I mean, it's text messages where she say, "I'm always ready," to freak off. I want to see what the I want to see the cross examination though. I'm more interested in that. I want to see how they're gonna defend him.
More parents choose the new Huggy Snug and Dry Softness.
Cassie could suffer from Stockholm syndrome. Somebody said that earlier. She wasn't the total victim as the media portrayed it. That's why I was waiting to see what they was gonna say, but it's going, it's gonna get deeper. Diddy also paid for her wedding. He said Diddy also paid for her wedding. $20 million settlement in a day. I guess she earned her money. You said they was rushing the defense. The defense started today. I fell asleep on that shit. Hold on, I missed something. I might have to go to YouTube after the game and see if the defense they started cross-examination. Oh, somebody just said yeah, and I'm gonna go back and watch it. That should be so boring. I don't like them jokes where you waiting for the people to come out the courtroom. Like when the dude Rodney Hinton go to trial. Hopefully he go to trial, because they ain't gonna give him no copies of tape. He gotta go to trial and say he was temporarily insane. We gonna see that blow for blow, just like that straight drop trial for the Young Dolph murder. Gun and car. Ooh, man, they wrestling. Yeah, defense started today. The judge told the defense to be done with her tomorrow. That's BS. You can't rush them. In federal court, I don't know what they on with that. But you got 8 hours today. If you say be done by tomorrow, you got all day tomorrow. But for real, they should be able to be done. I mean, I ain't got nothing against Cassie, though. I ain't got nothing against what she doing in the bedroom either. That ain't my business. I mean, and if it wasn't for the United States Attorney's Office, it wouldn't be nobody's business. I know that had to be challenging for her husband to sit up in there for that shit. That's why he got up out of there. I wouldn't have been trying to sit in there and listen to that shit neither. She up in that joint pregnant. That's just a bad scene. Somebody said, I think Diddy would get off. I mean, I think them charges trumped up, bro. But we gonna wait to see what these other people talking about with the drugs and shit. Cause with the feds, you can't get found guilty of nothing. You get found guilty of something, when you get the sentencing, they gonna hit you with all type of shit you ain't even get found guilty of. And if y'all think I'm exaggerating, just type in your chat GPT. They got AI on your phone now. Ask the question, can you be enhanced in federal sentencing for charges you are not convicted of. It's going to be called relevant conduct. Somebody Google it or put it in Chat GPT if you think I'm lying to you. Relevant conduct will get you sentenced. For an example, say for instance I had a RICO charge like P. Diddy. One count was conspiracy to transport escorts for sex. You know that charge. I don't know how to say it exactly. I know what the hell I'm talking about. And I also had possession of a firearm. Good shot. And I also had, let's say, what else he got? Let me just say those two. Let's say, for instance, I beat the conspiracy charge for the transporting the prostitutes or whatever, and I get found guilty on the gun, and it was all in the same indictment. They still gonna sentence me and penalize me for the charge that I was found not guilty of. Did you know that? She was stealing drugs from Diddy. He even told the dealers in LA don't sell her nothing and told her to go to rehab. Oh yeah? Yeah, I know he felt like utter dookie listening to her tell her experience. Yeah, but at the same time, we all got a past. And he knows she was fucking with Diddy before him. And if it's his woman, she didn't confide in some shit in him. Maybe not all things, but I mean, I guess he came in to support her. Other than that, I wouldn't even want to hear that shit. I ain't trying to be dealing with the U.S. Attorney Office and all that shit. Like, I ain't gonna sit there and get to talking about Cassie a rat, Cassie a rat, Cassie a government witness. This is a different type of case. But Puffy Puffy could go away for life. She is a witness against him. Like, let's still be 100 about what's going on in this bitch. Like even my man was on here talking about, oh, Cassie, he did this to Cassie, he did that to Cassie. Cassie text messages say she was with that shit. Explicitly say it, not implied. When are you ready to go again? I'm always ready. I don't even know what the fuck they entered that in the evidence for. Why would the U.S. attorney enter that in evidence? Diddy saying, when can we do a freak off again? I'm always ready. Somebody said you are correct. Denver man made a statement. 5280, him man. My man V said, yeah, you're right. E 5280 is a mile. I guess that too. The defense slow cooked her. I'm gonna go catch up on the defense today. It might be time to do a Diddy video, break it down on law. Like, I'm not into who was taking drugs and what the baby oil was on. I don't even care to hear all the sexual stuff. But Diddy got all that money spent on them lawyers. I want to see what they work like. What you say? Diddy is doing what all Hollywood weirdos does. If they not locking up Jay-Z and the rest, I don't see him as guilty. Just because he's a freak, does drugs, and put hands on his girlfriend isn't a crime. I mean, putting the hands on your girlfriend is a domestic, but I feel what you're saying. Just because he's a freak and does drugs. Ooh! They jacked that whole possession. Lamar somewhere biting his nails. OKC down. Okay, here they come. Yeah, I have a question for you. What's your question? Yes, Eon, break down that case for us. I always learn something from you. Salute, I appreciate that. I'm gonna check it out. Like I said, I hate getting the information from the people that was in the court. My man Sean G ain't do a breakdown on that jump daily. He up there in New York. Matter of fact, that's some first-hand information right there. I mean, some of these YouTube platforms, even the big ones, man, they covering shit like what Diddy had on today. I'd be damned I'd be damned if I cover what Diddy had on today. Like they got whole YouTube Jones just breaking down what his family had on today. What the fuck? What did they eat today? I get it though. I mean, I've been studying YouTube. I mean, it's a niche for everybody. They showing all these food commercials late at night, man. Up for debate in labor. He having Nate Boom baby. Yeah, this the Black Matlock. Okay. Up for debate and labor. He having Nate Boom baby. Cassie anything, letting them jokers piss on her. You notice I ain't spoke on that. Like I see everybody grab that headline, made memes about it. I ain't into that, man. I mean, and I ain't into just disrespecting no women. That's their business over there, bro. Man, I ain't above disrespecting no women. Like if a woman acts stupid and she do something wrong, but what go on in a relationship should stay in a relationship unless she really hurt and she wanna, like she say, she wanna tell her story because she ain't really getting nothing but getting him back. It ain't like she charged with nothing and she telling to get out of it. She telling to get his ass. It's almost like a woman that been raped or sexually assaulted. Tyrone isn't going to prison for a DV. Some dude's middle name is DV, just meant it's not Rico or football numbers worthy. Yeah, that's true. They say your boy Gully TV. Well, I don't even know why I'm stop calling that nigga Gully. Like Gully is like street raw rough. Ain't nothing raw and rough about him. Start calling that boy Jamil. So when you hear me say Jamil, I'm talking about that boy Jamil. Jamil Lindsay. He got a motherfucking domestic joint. He got a joint for beating on women or some shit. Tell that nigga stay away from that boy Jamil from Erie, Pennsylvania. Nigga go swimming in the Lake Erie. Erie, Pennsylvania. He had the nerve to tell somebody that Erie, Pennsylvania runs something in the feds. Do anybody know somebody from Erie, Pennsylvania? Cassie is Sammy the Bull to Diddy. John Gotti. Nah, I ain't even gonna look at Cassie like a Sammy the Bull to John. Sammy the Bull and John Gotti got themselves in some shit. They was killing and getting money together according to the indictment. Cassie and Diddy wasn't doing nothing but freaking and fucking together and party drugs. Shit, I ain't gonna call her a Sammy the Bull. They did not come get her and indict her and lock her up in jail with him, and she got participated in 19 of the killings. But she is the witness against him, so I can't argue with you. And you ain't gonna get me into no situation talking about I'm defending Cassie, but Cassie is telling on him because she wants to tell on him. But she is telling on him. Like, God forbid he go to jail, right? I don't want to wish jail on nobody. I ain't like that nigga, that goofy nigga Jamil, laughing to my, oh, he's going to jail. He's going to the penitentiary. Ha, ha, ha. 10 attempted murders. I couldn't believe it. But if Diddy did go down, all jokes aside, and he's in the feds and he current, like anybody who been to jail, especially the feds, you go to the law library, some niggas come in there with a mountain of paperwork every day. Diddy probably wouldn't even be one of them niggas to do his own. Diddy probably have a jailhouse lawyer going through this shit for his big boy lawyers on the street. But anyway, to get to my point, when he going through his paperwork and he looking at the testimony of the witnesses against him, and he sitting at the table, he talking to a dude about law, he be like, yeah, this bitch Cassie, look what this bitch said. This bitch know she was with that shit. And he gonna be looking at her transcript. Right now, the defense, while we sitting here, I'm watching the game, I'm talking to y'all, his defense team, even the young bucks, the paralegals, they is dissecting every single thing she said in these days prior this week. What? They is dissecting everything that was said by her all this week. See, this why I don't be going live while the game on, bro. But I can walk a true gun. They dissecting everything she has said, and they looking to pick holes in it. But imagine you was in Beaumont. They sent Diddy there. By the time Diddy get into his bit, he gonna be having to go through his law. And the Cassie testimony, I mean, is gonna be a testimony that he had to deal with, bruh. I ain't really trying to laugh at a nigga that's locked. Like, I'm laughing at the scenario because in real life, it's a RICO case, bruh. And I had a buddy of mine. We went to the gun range together a couple months ago. And I argued him down. I ain't even gonna minimize it. I argued him down. I was like, they're not gonna charge Diddy with no RICO. What the fuck he do to get a RICO? He said, nah, but they might charge him with RICO for, having the escorts and shit. I was like, hell nah. I called him when I seen it on TV, because I argued him down. He hadn't seen it on TV yet. I called him, I say, bro, you was right about that RICO shit. He was like, man, I told you. I said, I ain't trying to hear all that shit, but you're right. They charged this nigga with RICO, but I'm saying this shit is a bullshit RICO. This is not no John Gotti RICO. This is not no, this is not no, it's not no La Cosa Nostra. This is a motherfucking, what they used to call, this is a freak nigga. They didn't created the term, they didn't expose the term. This nigga Diddy walk around, multi-million-dollar nigga walking around texting about freak offs and shit daily. Like it was a major priority in his life. I mean, if for real, just having access to be able to be free and do whatever you want. But I remember I was in an interview with a woman, and she swore to me that Diddy was bisexual. I was like, I don't care enough to debate you. But everything she said in that damn interview is everything they charged him with. I mean, they didn't win as far as today. I didn't see nobody making jokes about it, but the New York Post, all other type of outlets, they had in big bold letters, woman makes fun of the size of Diddy's penis. And I said, man, come on, man. Y'all headlines is out of control, bro. Exactly how the fuck is this case of RICO? Freaky of RICO. RICO, that's a freako. Man, but Thug was guilty as hell. But it's what they can prove. I don't see every single juror saying he's guilty and willing to send him away for life. He damn sure shouldn't go away for life, bro. Ain't nobody dead. This is the craziest RICO I have ever seen. In federal court, I'ma say yeah. Bro got a RICO case and he the only person on trial. What the fuck? And I used to argue niggas down in the feds. I was like, bro, they can't do no RICO with you by yourself. You gotta have more than. Listen, even though I used to argue that and we clearly see this, Google conspiracy. You cannot conspire by yourself. So technically, Why has he got a RICO charge? And what is the conspiracy? And who did he conspire with? He the only nigga on trial. 5 years max. I got you. The feds do what they want. We see that. They done reconstructed Lord Dirk whole indictment. He'd have been superseded at least twice, I think. The only one on trial, bruh. He the only person on trial with a RICO case. But him and the male sex workers, bruh, like, I try not to imagine, but I be like, man, what the fuck are you doing? Sounds like a personal relationship trial. Even Brother Robert has co-conspirators. Oh, R. Kelly got co-defendants? You sure? I don't remember R. Kelly having co-defendants. You said co-conspirators, though. Did he got co-conspirators? Maybe we should call them unindicted. Damn, twice. Yeah, I mean, the government totally took the rap lyrics out. This indictment is in it now. He about to go back for a whole new bond hearing under a district judge. For those of y'all who don't understand how the Fed system works, if you go up for a bond hearing under a magistrate judge, he went up for a bond hearing under a magistrate judge. This female, and I'm not making a difference between man and woman, but he had a female magistrate judge in the California federal court. This female judge, which is a magistrate judge, took the stand of, man, for murder for hire, and you being the person that they say orchestrated the master plan or whatever they called it, there's no bond in here for that. However, and please don't take this like I'm saying he gonna get the bond in the district when the district judge takes a look at it. But legally and right-wise, that might be it. That might be it. Anyway, they're going to file a reconsideration for bond in front of the district judge. The district judge can take a look at it. They're going to argue that, look, Your Honor, when they first brought all these charges up, they said that they was going to be able to prove exactly who he paid the money to for the conspiracy for the murder for hire. They're going to say, the defense is going to also say now the government has retreated from that stance. They are no longer saying we can prove it, that particular element of the crime, without being able to prove that he gave the money, even in a pretrial motion like this for bond, without being able to prove it. And the feds got to tell you what they're trying to prove. Without being able to prove it, he got a better chance than your average dude that's going up for a bond hearing. But I never look forward to them bond hearings in them federal jumps because they hardly ever give them to you. I'm looking to see how the fuck they gonna prove that he did a murder for hire if they can't prove that he gave the peoples the money. And I don't care nothing about the other charges in Chicago that they say coming up. Oh, that's just a stack of deck. When he first got locked up, all type of people was running around saying, "Oh my God, jammed up, got him locked up or something." You don't even hear that story no more. He got a way better shot with a district judge. Drew famous for doing that. That's how he got young boy his bond in California, the same court. Lamar, that's when I fuck with you, man. You be knowing what you talking about, Slim. But you see, I know what I'm talking about. The magistrate judge is always the first judge you see. Most of the time, the magistrate judge gonna tell you, man, catch you later. But a district judge gonna give you a little bit more law. But even in some of these county courts, you could go up for them damn bond hearings every 3-4 weeks sometimes. Even with the drugs, they were personal use. He was addicted, not selling anything. I think Jewel's going to see the charges are trumped up. I think so too. He's guilty of domestic violence. That's not his charges though. He coming home. Not only that, they got text messages where they talking about buying just drugs for them. But with a kicker gonna come in there with some of that shit that you talking about, it's gonna be whatever witnesses, if they still have them, that's gonna allege that they were drugged without their knowledge. That's gonna be where crime gonna come in at. But it's still gonna be up to the jury to believe that shit or not.
Stay with the Disney Resorts Collection means more magical moments for them and you. With extra time at any of the 4 theme parks.
I mean, I don't even understand what Cassie testified to. What did she testify to that's a crime that he did?
5 nights or more. The Disney Resorts Collection.
Now that I'm thinking about it. Like, I fell asleep on that shit. That shit bored me to death. You got his kids sitting in there listening to that bullshit. I mean, like, even I was saying to myself, man, he got his oldest son in there. He done been at joints, but still, bro, you got to sit in there and listen to that bullshit. They say Cassie's husband took off running out there like a David Chappelle skit. I ain't gonna lie, man. I mean, I read, because I didn't even listen to it. I read it in the Washington Post. They talk about something about they misquoted and tried to say that Diddy told the male sex worker to urinate in her mouth. Washington Post quoted said that Cassie asked the dude to urinate in her mouth. Raped him. Ah, word, huh? Okay. Extra freaky shit in Dubai. I ain't even pay. I'm telling you, it was bored. I might watch a couple. I might give them 20 minutes tonight. I'm hungry anyway. I ain't been on no type of McDonald's junk food, and the only place I can go late at night is H and Chicken or Denny's. It's a 10-point game, all right. Cassie definitely asked for the brother to do that. That's what the transcripts say, man. I'm not judging Cassie or nothing. I don't care what she into, bro. I'm judging the case. If I was looking at the case, like I said, if I was sitting in the law library and Diddy came in that junk, be like, hey, E, can you look at this for me? I might look at that junk. Now, you know I'm going to look up and be like, damn, bro, y'all was pissing in each other's mouth and shit, like, for real, bro? But going back to that Shine case, what New York guys say that Diddy told on Shine? Would that be an issue? Or was that an agreement? Because I seen some shit where they say Diddy basically told on Shine. So, would Diddy paperwork, how would that work for Diddy? Did Diddy cooperate? Did Diddy testify on Shine or not? I don't remember. I'm not even trying to, I'm saying we just talking. Do anybody remember? He sent witnesses. I mean, in an abstract way, that's third-party cooperation. In an abstract way. Because Shine, somebody said that he sent people to testify against me. Somebody said that's telling. So, I hate to be the one to bring it up, but I thought about it weeks ago. Now that we getting closer and closer to trial, closer and closer into trial being done, how would the New York guys gonna accept that? Now earlier today we was talking about that dude, and I was saying, Diddy gonna be alright? He gonna get on the compound. New York dudes there is gonna be thorough. How are New York dudes gonna remember how he behaved with the Shine shit? Shine took the case. Okay. He had a PI find witnesses to bang Shine. Somebody said that. What you think about that, KD? Shine trying to say because witnesses identified him as the shooter that Diddy used them. Okay. He was protecting J-Lo himself, not Shine. Hey, but I read some shit recently that said Diddy fired a gun that night. I'm gonna go back and look into not just the case pop, but all the news that was surrounding. They say Diddy fired a gun in the club that night too. Shine got caught on the scene running out of the club with the gun in his hand. The lady who got shot in the face said herself Diddy shot her. I remember that. But I bet you she got paid some money. Diddy ain't gonna have a driver's license in the feds. I mean, do you think what we talking about with the Shine shit, bro, that ain't gonna be no issue? No disrespect to New York. But New York niggas gonna act like they forgot about that Shine shit. Even we can't remember it. But anything, listen, if Diddy get found guilty, on this shit, right? You know when they get to the sentencing part in the feds, the Shine shit gonna come up as criminal history. You know that, right? Because Diddy was alleged to have shot a gun or something that night. That's what I heard too. Diddy too freaky to roll with me. I had a debate with a nigga. Nigga was talking to me about G and a bitch. I said, bro, I'm a grown ass man. I ain't got time for no shit like that. He said, nah, Slim, I'm saying. I said, bro, I don't do two dicks in one bed, bro. He kept saying, man, you on some bullshit, man. I said, I ain't on no bullshit. I said, man, maybe when we was kids or some shit, I said, I ain't what I meant to. But now, this conversation that came up, I reiterated it back to him. He was joning talking about the dude Young Mo doing the interview with Aunt Glizzy, and he talking about dicks was touching in the video. Now, I ain't trying to regurgitate all that. But I said, oh, now you got something to say about them because they said something about sword fighting. And I said, bruh, you got videos where Alpo talking about him and another dude who everybody be talking about woke up in the bed together with a bride. Okay, it's a bride in the bed, but it's still two dicks in the bed. Oh shit, did he cook? Is that Shine case come up? Did he cook? Did the Shine case come up? The Shine case not gonna come up in trial. I'm talking about in sentencing. If he get found guilty of anything, when they do the PSI and they go back into the criminal history, something about that Shine case has something to do with Diddy and a gun. Anything that they got anything to do with you and crime goes into your sentencing points. Even things you are not found guilty of. I know somebody said, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Look up relevant conduct. I dare you. Look up relevant conduct. I know dudes that had a 7-count indictment, drug conspiracy. I don't know what this charge is when you take over people project apartments, you commandeer the thing, and then all the, bro, they beat every charge but 2. They should have got no more than 7 years. Even the jury came out. I should do a story on that case out of Southeast Washington, D.C. Jurors came out and said they never thought that those young black men should have been sentenced to 360-some months. They thought that they'd only sold a little bit of drugs and they only found them guilty of that count for this one, this count for that one. Man, they got the sentencing, bruh. They lit their ass up as if the jury found them guilty of the entire indictment. You had dudes like my man Tone and them never got found guilty of murder. Was constantly being punished for the murder for 29 years. Let's say 30. 29 years and 10 months. That's 30 years, man. Oh, shit. Eon correct again. Oh, you must have looked it up. Salute. So, how many counts did he got on this indictment? A 3-count indictment, 5-count indictment? Who knows? I don't have the paper. I'm telling you, if he get found guilty on the smallest count during sentencing, they're going to use something called relevant conduct to still light his ass up. He got to beat everything. It's almost like all or nothing. It's like when you in the gambling table and you've been gambling all night and you know that you can't keep penny pinching to win your money back and you just say, fuck it, I'm gonna bet everything. He in a position like that at the casino, if anybody understands the analogy. He got everything on the table. He betting 6, 8, 5, 9. He betting everything on the table. 10-4. He betting everything on the table. Cassie and Diddy both were cheating. Freaking all. Cheating ain't a crime. Drugging. Had jealousy. Cassie said she was jealous of Diddy and Kim Porter. Cassie was with Kid Cudi. Defense said equals toxic relationship, not a Rico. I don't care what nobody think. I agree with that, bro. I ain't saying how he treated her was correct. I'm not saying I would treat a side chick like that. I wouldn't treat nobody like that. That's not what I'm into. But I'm not into orgies and shit either. So, like, what the fuck? Ain't nobody saying nothing about the male sex workers and shit, though. That's creepy to me. That ain't creepy to y'all? I don't hear nobody even talk about it. Everybody keep being interested that Cassie get peed in the mouth. What was the men doing with Diddy? And I ain't trying to turn Diddy gay or none of that. I mean, I don't think it's far-fetched to say Slim might be back, but he get a whole lot of box. Yeah, this jump done. OKC ain't pull it off tonight, so there's a big game coming up. He got 5 counts. All right, boom. My man said he got 5 counts. Say if he get found guilty on 1. Some of the things for the other 5 counts is still going to be relevant conduct. It's an unfair practice. They've been practicing in this country for over 40 years. They had senators named Dick Durbin and John Grassley, if I ain't mistaken. I forgot what they was doing with this law, but they had some law in to ban unindicted, unconvicted, and something else conduct because it's unfair. The jury is supposed to be the most strongest body in the American judicial and the jurisprudence of American law, bruh. The jury is supposed to be more powerful than the judge, bruh. There's nowhere in the world the jury can find you guilty of something and not guilty of something else. And when the jury has now exited the arena, now you and the judge are alone with the prosecutor. And the prosecutor got your PSI set up, and you supposed to come in there and get 6, 7 years, and they find all these ways to enhance you. You leave out that bitch with a life sentence or 360 or 480 months, bruh. He said Eon is a Shaolin monk. Go ahead, bro. I want to go get me something to eat. You got to take that man with you everywhere you go at nighttime. If the motherfucking store stay open at 2, 3 in the morning, you got to be strapped to go in that joint. That's like the old days. Everybody think you go, oh man, it's a 24-hour joint, man. That joint over 24 hours. You might get 24 years going to get something to eat at that motherfucker. I hate anything that's over 24 hours. 7-Eleven, Denny's, the gas station. It remind me of that joint on Menace to Society when Harold got hit in the head. Bow! I don't like that late night shit, bro. Can't nobody tell me to put my guard down in late night. I pump the gas with that shit out. You are seeing football? Game 7 it is. Yeah, game 7 it is. What you mean when you say you are seeing football? What that mean?
2 days rest, Katie. They'll play Sunday afternoon on ABC in Oklahoma City. They'll right to face Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals. Tim Legler, Katie George, our entire outstanding ESPN crew on Dave Pass. So long from Denver. Sports Center is up next.
Yo, pump the gas with that shit out. Square business, Eon. You get it. I don't even care. I said something wrong. He like that. I ain't playing though. In real life. Congratulations on this one, Nicole. The fourth quarter was huge. How did you guys get it done? Nikola Jokic. Ah, man.
I think holding that, I think the whole series, I think we are holding that team around 100, 105, 110 points. I think that's really good for us. Except the first game, they scored 150. So it was an interesting game, and I'm just glad that we won it.
That was a classic. Oh, pump with the shit out. Eon is the last dragon. Come on, man. Stop it, man. Go ahead with that shit, bro. 17 points in the entire postseason. The man dropped 15 in this game alone. What do you say about those two performances tonight?
I mean, Jordan was big for us. Of course, he made big shots. He had a really big, like on 45. He had a big three. He was attacking the ball. He had a couple of big rebounds at the end. So I mean, he didn't play basically the whole series, but he stayed ready. He stepped up in the big moment.
That's a girl.
Got one more to go. Sunday, we'll see if OKC can be as loud as it was in Denver tonight. But how do you get it done on Sunday? I mean, simply collective effort. You know, we have been there. It's an interesting game. It's a deep 7, and you just go out there and play your best, the best of your capabilities, and hope for the best.
That's the home security joint. The big joint don't even make no noise. You want to see the big joint? He's sitting down somewhere cool. What kind of dog is that? That's a Jack Russell. Look them Jones up. They think they 500 pounds. Big like a lion. She went in a German Shepherd yesterday. I was like, man, if you don't sit your ass down. I mean, when at the jump was beefing. I can't believe. I wish I had that much heart. I call it heart, but that might be ignorance. But it's a lot of heart. I can't even call it ignorance. She got to look up at the German Shepherd like this big motherfucker. She like, ah. They jump on kitchen counters. If they hit the counter low enough, she can't jump that high. If she could, she would. I seen videos of them jumps jumping all on the counters like cats. I got a Jack Russell. They are dogs with ADD. That's a good one. They say you got ADD, Charlie.
I expect a brawl for it all. Okay, so that being said, on Sunday, the Nuggets, they pushed the Thunder this far at the top seed in the NBA. What chance do you give Denver pulling off the upset on the road?
He look nosy than a motherfucker. I told you, it's a girl, bro. Okay, that breed can jump. The breed can jump and they smart. I like anything smart. Somebody say ignorant. Would you agree with it or not? I got a Jack Russell. They are dogs with ADD.
Triple-double. I believe Oklahoma City wins this series in 7 games. I think all the young guys, they're going to feed off the energy of that crowd, that arena. I played in that arena. I know how electrifying it can be. And I just think that the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to strap up defensively. Again, we go back to the...
I think Oklahoma City might get them, though.
Role players play better at home. So I expect
they clingy and playful as hell. Clingy. They'll follow you around, but they'll take their own little space sometimes. But I guess you could say clean as far as they gonna follow you around, but they don't got to be always sitting around. You sitting on your leash, not this one.
for Oklahoma City Thunder. So it's a
This joint just so small. I'd have made that joint sit down and chill with me. But that ain't even when I met this dog. This dog was kind of like a rescue almost. When I met this dog ain't even do all that type of shit. But I never been a fan of small dogs, so a small dog that got a big heart that act like a big dog, I fell in love with the dog that's on the strip of that, and the joint smart as shit. If I get up and grab my joint, she know I'm going outside.
don't want to disrespect championship experience, right? But
That's
also
smart as shit for a dog.
with a team that don't know no more, right? And that's the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? It's just going to be another game for them. They're going to keep their identity. The one thing we know about this
Yeah,
team,
who is your NBA team?
they're going to get scrappy, right? They're going to
The
hang
Lakers.
on the defensive side of things. We expect
New
you to
sub.
ball
Shout out to the new
in
sub. Appreciate the
with a
love.
certain level of physicality. They
Let me
have
get
a
out of here, man. I
championship
figure out if I
leader
can
in
sneak to
Lottie
somewhere and
Williams,
get me something to
so
eat real
we
quick,
want
bro.
to
I'm gonna
make
have
sure
to.
he delivers
I'm gonna have
the
to
right
like.
message for
It'd
us
be hard to
in
eat healthy, bro.
tonight to be
I swear to
prepared.
God.
And here's the thing, game sevens,
But
if you
appreciate
give
the
it
love,
up,
man.
it's
Are you
stressful
bald,
as
bro?
hell.
Why the fuck
They
would
don't
you ask
play
me some
against
shit
the
like that?
Sun.
What you care?
So I expect guys to lose sleep.
I just watched the
Guys to be stressed
Antonio
the hell out
Jones
because
mini
that's part of
doc
the
on
playoffs,
W.
especially when you're trying to go
You learn something
and
new every
actually go
day.
get
Shout out
another
to Antonio
matchup, win
Jones.
the championship, or even advancing to the next round to get to the conference finals. It's supposed to be stressful. It's supposed to be
Somebody
hard.
said peace,
But I
safety
think this
first. You
OKC
know it.
team is going to rise to the occasion solely because